Unboxing OnePlus 9 Pro. The outside. In proper continuity, we have another saturated red box for the OnePlus 9 Pro 5G variant. Additionally, almost all the lettering on the packaging features a darker red foil that is easily readable and reflects light when viewed at different angles, a subtle detail that I really appreciate from OnePlus. The box itself feels really well constructed with a smooth matte finish to the touch. Personally, I feel really secure assuring to future customers that everything inside your package would be safe and secure from shipment to arrival. On the downside, my model that I opened didn't have any battery left. I had to plug it in order to start it for the first time. A number of items are also included: Warp Charge Type-C to Type-C cable, red, Warp Charge 65 watts power adapter, white. A welcome guide, a quick start, and safety information guides. Metal SIM card removal pin. The inside. As you open the packaging, there is a smooth transition from the all-red solid structure to a charcoal gray outer shell with a white center that creates a museum image-like frame for the OnePlus 9 Pro. Under the smartphone features the credo of OnePlus in debossed lettering: never settle. The hardware. Prior to receiving my package, I had no idea what color OnePlus 9 Pro I was receiving. To my surprise, it was the Morning Mist variant. Wow, did the creative team nail this color? About the material. A thin 2.2mm aluminum frame is sandwiched in between Corning's Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back of the device. The seamless integration of the curved glass and metal gives a premium finish that communicates quality almost instantly. I had several friends check out the device and they were all impressed by the build quality. Additionally, the weight of the smartphone is surprisingly heavy for how light the form factor looks. Notable features: display, 120Hz fluid AMOLED with LTPO resolution, 3216 by 1440 pixels, 525 pixels per inch battery, 4500 mAh, 50 watts wireless charging RAM, 8 GB LPDDR5. Closing thoughts. I really have no complaints on the hardware. Everything feels premium, so I personally think the price tag is reasonable. I'm sure there will be people who disagree, but that's where I believe the normal OnePlus 9 can be a substitute with at least 85% or so of the same features. Kudos to the OnePlus team for keeping both models under $1,000. Clapping hands, medium light skin tone. One small note: I have small hands, but sometimes my index finger touches the corner of the camera module, so I have to be somewhat conscious of camera lens smudges, but I'm going to chalk that up to how I've conditioned my hand on how to hold a phone. Otherwise, the ergonomics of the OnePlus 9 Pro feels great with no notable complaints. The software. My review of the software will be purposefully short. Android and Oxygen OS can do so much that I can go on all day about the features. Furthermore, with the powerful hardware inside, your overall experience will be fast, responsive, and fluid. That has been my experience at least. Instead, I would like to focus on my first impressions of the camera app's user interface. Photo mode. Prior to the 9 Pro, I have never owned a OnePlus phone before, so I was eager to see how intuitive the camera settings were. On first glance, there is actually a lot going on, especially in the sub-menus, but it's not bad per se. Features such as high-res and custom modes were interesting and welcomed, but I found some settings that seemed out of place, such as shutter sound, Google Lens, and the filters icon. I would love to see a minimal icon interpretation of the camera UI, and then if the user would like to enable additional features, they could toggle those features on in the settings menu. Would be even more interesting to see the camera UI design adapt from their thinking face. Also, bring the horizontal line setting to the normal photo mode, please. Pro mode. While I do have questions on some missing features such as no RAW support at different focal lengths, no higher megapixel image capturing mode, and no additional crop factors, please support a 8x10 feature. I'm sure the OnePlus team is aware and potentially already working on implanting those features in the future. I'm actually pretty impressed with the Pro mode, and I can see myself exclusively using this mode if multiple focal lengths are added in the near future. And if not, I would love to hear why this technically can't happen, and maybe how OnePlus can add this feature in future smartphone iterations.
Now I will let Lorena tell her opinion after using the phone for 6 months. Lorena.
We awarded the OnePlus 9 Pro with 4.5 stars and gave it our Editor's Choice Award, signifying it as one of the best phones on the market. As one would guess, that kind of pedigree ages well, so there's still a lot to love about the phone 6 months later. When you first take the OnePlus 9 Pro out of the box, there's no mistaking its premium quality. It looks and feels like a $1,000 phone, which is good, because that's what it is. The edges are smooth and comfortable, the weight is distributed evenly, and the glossy back still has enough texture to prevent you from thinking it's going to slip right out of your hand. However, the thing that surprised me the most was how the phone doesn't feel enormous. The Galaxy Note 20 Ultra feels like a behemoth, and the Galaxy S21 Ultra also feels a tad too big, even though it and the 9 Pro are quite similarly sized. The 9 Pro, though, feels just right. The true wonder of the phone, however, is its display. In our original review, we raved about it. Even today, though, I haven't seen many phones top it. And I'm saying all this without even discussing the 1/440p resolution mixed with a smooth-as silk 120Hz refresh rate. When you add those into the equation, this becomes one of the best smartphone displays I've ever used. The only gripe I have with the design of the phone overall is the curved display sides. OnePlus made these quite steep, which makes performing the back gesture difficult. There were plenty of times during my use of this phone that I swiped in to go back, but needed to repeat the gesture because my finger didn't run the full length of the curve. Hopefully, manufacturers figure out how to really nail curved displays soon, or just stop the trend altogether. In our original OnePlus 9 Pro review, we said the camera system outperforms all its predecessors. Basically, this is the best camera system on any OnePlus phone to date. 6 months later, that's still true. The camera can easily stand up against the big players such as Samsung and Apple. The first thing you'll likely notice about the shots is the muted colors. This is because OnePlus and partner Hasselblad have tried to make the color output of the camera as realistic as possible. While this is great for accuracy, many smartphone users prefer punchy saturated colors in photos. This ultimately comes down to taste, but the important thing to note here is that things haven't changed over the past 6 months. Software updates have come in, but the camera still produces the same ultra-realistic colors. However, OnePlus did bring a new camera feature in since the phone's launch: Expand Mode.